Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats presented by WeTV. In this series, we've been interviewing some of our amazing student athletes here at Western Carolina University. Today's guest is Chase McKey of our men's basketball team to celebrate 1 year since our very first interview of Chats with Cats. How are you, Chase?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this. Go ahead and please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on the basketball team.
He already said I'm Chase McKey. I'm a junior. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, it's my first year on the basketball team. And yeah.
Super exciting. If you don't mind, could you share a memorable moment from your athletics career so far this season?
I'd say probably the first game. Just all the nerves leading up to it, the summer, all the work that we put in, and then, finally getting to step out on the court. Definitely exciting.
Yeah, the first game is always a lot of fun, especially with it having been a doubleheader. You get to see two back-to-back. But how do you stay motivated during the long basketball season, given that it is early November all the way to like mid-March?
Yeah, I'd say probably just trying to stay in like the moment, not look too far, not dwell on the past, just take it game by game, day by day. Just being grateful for like the moment that I'm in and being where my feet are.
Yeah, that's something that we've heard from a lot of our student athletes is the being where your feet are, because if you get too caught up in what's going to happen next or what's already happened, then you can kind of lose sight of keeping going.
For sure.
But our student athletes also talk about the family feel within the teams a lot. I would like to ask how that looks on your team, especially with it being a very new team.
Yeah. I think obviously being a new team, that was something that they emphasized during the summer. So we did a lot of things to, be more connected. I think Coach Kraft did a good job of that. And we have a good group of guys, so we're all, pretty locked in and pretty close.
Yeah, that's really good. And shout out to Coach Kraft.
Yeah.
Great coach. I'm really happy with how the season's kicking off with again, brand new team.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun. But we are going to kind of switch gears and change from the student athlete side over to the student side, because student athletes like you are a lot more than just the athlete on the court. You're also a student and person beyond that. So what are you studying and what made you choose that major?
I'm studying business and law. I think when I'm done playing basketball, I want to continue to be around the game. And you can do that in a lot of ways. So I think just being in business, I can kind of pick wherever I want to, dwell in. And I think that's the biggest thing, just staying around the game of basketball.
Yeah, I think the business can take you very far, with it being like the more broad, and having the law background as well can help with like the more intricate parts within that.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you manage your time between academics and athletics?
I'd say just kind of trying to get my schedule for like the week down, making sure I have everything on my calendar, my assignments I have to do. So it's easy to, check off, I have this done, I have that done. So it just keeps me, on time, on task.
I think that those lists definitely help whenever you have such a pressing schedule, with having to make sure you go to practice and also get all of your assignments done outside of that. And another thing kind of with that as well, as a student athlete, not only is there a huge physical aspect, but there's a huge mental aspect. I did kind of want to hear your thoughts on mental health as a student athlete.
Yeah, I think, being student athletes, we do a lot of amazing things, but we also forget that we are human as well. So I think just taking time to, sit back and reflect and just do things that aren't, maybe what you do every single day, can keep you in the, in a healthy mind state. But I definitely think it's important to work on yourself and give yourself grace and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that that's something that with a lot of student athletes and just in anything that like any athlete is, people don't necessarily realize the mental toll that can take as well. And so I think hearing how well our student athletes do with like paying attention to both sides and how much support there is within the Western kind of helps with that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But how has being a student athlete overall shaped your college experience?
Man, it's something I would never, want to trade trade it for. It's definitely tough at times, but, people say it goes by fast, and it definitely does. So just trying to embrace all of it. It's exciting. It's fun, get to go to school and play basketball. So can't be mad at that.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people don't get that like D1 athlete experience, so it makes it even more unique as well.
Yeah.
But we are going to kind of move into our lightning round, so just some short little questions with some short little answers. So what has been your favorite class at Western so far?
Definitely African-American history with Dr. Lewin. So shout out him. But something I really like to learn about, and he taught it very well.
You did the shout out for me. Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions?
I'd say for the most part, no. More recently, I've been trying to meditate before games and just kind of read to, calm me down. But I'm not really superstitious or anything like that, so pretty basic.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot that goes into the hyping up, but also calming down right before can definitely be helpful.
Yeah.
What is your favorite sport to watch and favorite non-WCU team?
Favorite sport? Probably tennis, honestly, besides basketball. Big Nadal fan, but he just retired, so that's a bit sad. But and then outside of I'd say Alabama. Really big Alabama fan.
Okay, shout out Alabama.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite post-game meal?
Anything like hibachi chicken, definitely does the job.
There we go, whatever works. And before I ask our last question, I did also kind of want to ask, so your dad was in the NBA, right? Yeah. I would like to hear a little bit about that and having that background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously great to learn from him, to hear his stories. That's experience that a lot of people don't get to, get. So just trying to learn everything I can from him, and him always being there to support me has been great. So definitely, appreciative of him.
Yeah. I think that I didn't even fully make that connection or realize that until I was watching one of the away games on ESPN Plus, and then they mentioned it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I saw that little graphic they put up.
Yeah. But our last question kind of ties everything together. What is the best advice you've ever received as a student athlete? And what advice would you give to an incoming student athlete?
Kind of what I harped on earlier, just being your present, because it does go by fast. So, just taking every day one at a time, even though some days can be hard, just trying to find the positive in everyone. And then what advice would I give? Just try to spread positivity. I think it spreads, just in your whole life, not just in your academics or sports. It can, promote just a healthy lifestyle. And I think it's a good way to live. So just being positive and spreading that around you and to others, and making sure you, show love to everyone.
Yeah, definitely good advice, not only for student athletes, but for anyone to spread that positivity.
Yeah.
But that is going to kind of close us out for the interview. Thank you, Chase, for being on the show.
Appreciate you.
Of course. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.